What's up, guys? Welcome back to the newsletter, and thank you for being here. You can see it's a late night episode of the newsletter as I've been traveling all week out to San Diego for IAOA, as we're going to get to that update in just a minute, but that long distance traveling really messes me up both on the front end and on the back end, so it kind of took me a few extra days to get this to you. I also kind of wanted to save delivering the newsletter to you until I had a chance to decompress a little from IAOA and deliver exactly what you're about to get, which are my thoughts on the conference in general. But before we get there, I just want to give you guys a couple quick updates. One, Rogue Risk. As of publishing this, I'm about 4 days away from getting all my licenses together and E&O together and basically all the paperwork stuff to then deliver to the carriers who've already kind of said they're interested in an appointment, start going through that process. So we're getting close. We're getting very close. I mean, I'm sure all the carriers that I start the appointment process with, I don't know, maybe they'll take me, maybe they won't, but it's just exciting to be moving to the next phase, getting through the Department of Financial Services phase and moving to the appointment phase and then to the selling phase, which at this point you're like thinking, you know, your brain is going, man, the selling phase is going to be the easy part, which I know is not true. It just is. Paperwork drives me nuts. But we're almost through that, which is amazing. Speaking of Rogue Risk, I have another big announcement, I guess, and that's around the Inside. So the Inside is a private paid community that I created back in December, actually 2 days before Christmas, which I do not recommend as the launch date for a product. And we've accumulated almost 30 members, which is phenomenal during that time period. The announcement is that I am cutting the paid portion of the membership, which means everything that comes out for the Inside will now be free. The videos will be free. The private Facebook group will be free. It's private just to keep the Yahoos and the bots out. But the reason I created the Inside was to help, you know, document this journey of starting an independent insurance agency and share that with as many people as possible. And as much as I hold the 30 people who are part of the Inside near and dear to my heart, even if that number was 100 or 150, I would still feel like I was not doing this content, doing this journey, doing the industry justice, and sharing what I'm learning, the conversations I'm having, the wins, the losses, the struggles, the process. I'm not sharing it with everyone who needs it, which is always my goal when I'm creating content. It like burns me to have a paywall up. It really does. So I'm taking the paywall down. It just, I have to do that. Like, it just, for me, who I am, I'm taking the paywall down. Now, there's a couple things here. So that means, one, if you're watching this right here, click through, you can watch all the videos you want. You'll also be able to find the private Facebook group, and you'll be able to be part of it. Watch everything, join. If you haven't joined the newsletter so that you get notified when new episodes come out, that's all in this thing up here that popped up. So go there, check it out, and subscribe by the newsletter. Go to the private Facebook group if you want to be part of this journey. Everything is free for you. Now, the reason I'm able to do this is two reasons. Because the Inside's mechanism, despite documenting or despite being to document the journey and share that with you guys, was it also was acting as a funding mechanism for Rogue Risk. It was a supplemental source of income that could help my family kind of pay the bills while I'm building out a scratch agency, which doesn't exactly churn and burn in year one. So I have to replace that somehow. Well, the good news is through the growth of the podcast and just kind of some exposure around the Inside in general, I've had a lot of people reach out to me for advertising, and I've also been gotten some more speaking gig inquiries, which is great. So, and if you're interested in a speaker or you're interested in advertising with any of my channels, the podcast, the Inside, or interested in having me come and speak, just reach out. You can contact me right here. I'll have a link right here, or contact link below, or just ping me on whatever social network we're connected on, or Ryan at ryanhanley.com. And I'm going to use those two mechanisms to fund the community. One, I think that it fits what I'm trying to do. I'm building an audience. I'm sharing with that audience freely. And in exchange, if you would like access to that audience, then you're going to have to pay for that. That's how advertising works. That's how free content works. And the truth is, this started because Advisor Evolved and Tarmica are sponsors of my podcast. And then I've had other people reach out and said, hey, you're doing sponsorships now. What does that look like? And I can add enough additional sponsors with the slots that we have both in the inside and in the podcast to make sure that the sponsorships get good reach into the community that I've built. And then I can also kind of use my own filter for the sponsors to make sure that I'm putting good, solid tools that care about independent agents and their success in front of this community, so I can be that filter. And then I get the funding that I need to help Rogue keep pushing forward, and hopefully some more speaking gigs will continue to roll in as I share things about, I have one that's on using, it's called, it's for Arkansas. It's all around data, putting data to work. And then another one is for Assure Alliance, which is a master agency for SIA down in, I think, South Carolina. And we're doing the Crush Your Customer Experience presentation, kind of mashing sales, marketing, and technology together to absolutely dominate your space. So if you're interested in those two things, let me know. But what I'm really about telling you here, and I'm kind of running on, I apologize, I'll wrap it up, is that the inside is now free, and I hope you'll go check it out. You can go, you can get all the videos, you can walk through the process to where I am today. I'll have a new episode of The Inside coming out later this week, and what it does for me is it takes the pressure off of me to constantly create 2 videos every single week for The Inside for those paid members, and in exchange, I can get more people, and at the same time, I can get more people watching that content, because I love you guys, and I want you to be able to learn everything you can from whatever I can give you always. All right. So probably going on way too much about that. What I really wanted to talk about in this episode is IAOA. Now I'm going to put one little caveat on what I'm about to say. I'm about to talk very highly of IAOA, and I do not want anyone who runs a conference for any association or technology vendors or carriers or anyone to think that this is me saying this event is better than any other event. That is absolutely positively not what this is, because every event has its own culture and flavor and feel and place in our industry, and this is not a addition by subtraction scenario. This is really an addition to addition. That doesn't make any sense, but you get what I'm saying. So here is my take on IAOA. Having never been a member, I wasn't an agency owner, I wasn't part of the group, kind of always watching from the outside. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away by what I experienced there. I felt like, I felt home, if that makes sense. Felt like I was supposed to be there, kind of felt like I was always there, even though I never had been before. And that was tremendous. The people were just, the culture of that particular event is of unsettling yet inspiring sharing, right? Just everyone is sharing everything. And you just bump into somebody and you drop into this conversation that you're just pulling I'm just pulling little nuggets. Bam, bam. Oh, you used that. Oh, okay, you did this. Oh, you made that mistake. Don't use that. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And then just people sharing war stories, and I don't have any war stories, right? I'm just listening. I'm just taking it all in. I was trying to be as much of a sponge as I could, while still getting some business done that I needed to get done there for Rogue. And I couldn't have had a better time. I couldn't have taken more value away from the event. And if you are an agency owner, I think that this is absolutely an event to put into your mix. And I have an episode of The Inside that you can go check out. I'll put it right here. That episode talks about how to pick the right conferences for your agency. So that might be a cool episode to watch for you, of The Inside, if you haven't yet. And then it was just very highly engaging event. And Nick and Dave do a tremendous job, and there's this weird It's very professionally done, yet very familial atmosphere, and they had a tremendous number of vendors, which was great. It was a great selection of vendors, and I think a lot of the vendors probably got a lot out of the event as well, and it certainly helped me because I was there kind of picking an agency management system, so I had a chance to speak to a lot of the vendors there that I was interested in talking to in that space, and a couple others, and it just was great. Like it just was great. I don't know what else to say about it. I know it is for agency owners only, so not everyone who watches this can go to that event. But I will say if you've thought about it and it fits your budget and it fits your schedule, that it is worth mixing in at least once to try it out, because I think they had 150 people the first year, and this was year 6, and they're at or year 6, year 5, I'm not really sure, but they're at, they did 850 plus people this year, which is just great. It's just anytime you can get that many agents together sharing, it's wonderful. Some of the state association events do double that, and that's tremendous too. So, I think they have a place. I'm glad they have continued this event going, and I would just like to say thank you to them. Like the shocking thing for me about this event was that how readily they accepted someone who had been an outsider for so long, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if people would be like, "Oh, is he a poser? Like now he's gonna be an agency owner?" Like I don't know. I didn't know how people would react to it, or how I didn't know what to expect. And I walk in, and the first person I bump into was like, "Hey man, what's up? Boom, boom. What do you got going on? How you trying to do it?" And you're describing my model to them, and how Rogue is going to be set up. And they're like, "Oh, did you think about this?" And I'll give you a case in point. So the Saturday during the day between one of the sessions, by the way, I didn't even make it to many of the sessions. I apologize to all the speakers. I wanted to see you guys speak. I was having so many conversations in the hallways and in the vendor hall, and I just never made it in, or certainly didn't make it in to the speaking enough. But so I apologize to them if they're watching. But Ryan Keating, I want to give a big shout out to Ryan Keating. So here's just an example. So I had a chance to talk to Ryan a couple times briefly, but we finally had a chance to like really kind of chat on Saturday. So we're just chatting there in the hall, and I'm talking, and I'm explaining Rogue's model to him because he had asked me that, and I'm talking through what I'm trying to do, and he's like, "Dude, you got to talk to Chubb. Like what you just described to me fits what they're trying to do perfectly." And I got a guy, and on the spot he whips out his phone and he blasts off an email introducing me to his guy at Chubb. Well, this morning I had a call with Chubb with the guy. We talked for like 45 minutes, really hit it off, and I'm going to have a chance to meet with their local rep and see if there's some congruencies. And the truth is, maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't, maybe it's a relationship that blossoms 2-3 years from now. That doesn't matter. What I think is the important part is that that Ryan was so willing to just bam, bam, he zips off, he goes, "Hold on," he blasts this email out, send, cool. He's like, "All right, now you're connected." And I just, I'm not saying that doesn't happen at other events. I just wanted to kind of share that as a microcosm, as an example of what was going on there. And I was part of a little IAOA mastermind thing that Zach Gould and Matt Namoli put on, and I'm going to forget everyone that was there, but Crowley was there, and Grant Botman was there, and Chris Green was there, and just a bunch of cats. And we were having this awesome open conversation, a lot of vulnerability, and I just took, for where I am in Rogue's development, this conference could not have been more of exactly what I need. And I just wanted to give them a shout out and say, I've been watching from afar for a long time, and congratulations to Nick and to Dave and to the entire IAOA community, because doing this kind of thing is not easy, and you keep rocking it, and that is worth praise in my opinion. So, all right, that's over. I hope you guys will check out the inside, because like I said, now it's free. So Hopefully some of you go and consume that content. I think you find it valuable. There's gonna be a lot more coming out. And I hope you join the private Facebook group, share all kinds of thoughts and stuff in there. It's kind of like my first place to share something that I find or something that's going on is right into the private Facebook group. And then otherwise, I will catch you out on the scene. Like it's almost go time for Rogue. I'm getting kind of jacked up, obviously. And I just love you for watching this. Thank you for watching this. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do. Just hit the bell and the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I produce new ones. Otherwise, it's time to get out of here.